Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Guitar Intervals Unleashed, where today we're going to use the NANDI method to find C major chords all over our fretboard. Okay guys, so I'm going to use the NANDI-Chorder to show you guys how to plot this using the NANDI method. Because we're using major chords today, that means we need the root, the third, and the fifth. I wrote down all the intervals here, so that way when we're counting them out on the sheet, you'll be able to understand how I'm going from certain ones and why some I'm skipping a flat and some I'm not. But we need a root, a third, and a fifth. And on the NANDI-Chorder, all of our C's are already plotted to 1. And on the back side here, where we're going to show the letter names, I've done the same thing with starting from C and going through all the notes here. I've listed them all in sequence, so when we're counting up and down our strings, you'll understand which notes I'm going to and when. The important notes here are C, E, and G. So it's the first, the third, and the fifth that are important to us in terms of intervals, and it's the notes C, E, and G, because we're doing C and major. So this is a C major chord, C, E, and G. Just a quick note about all the chords I'm about to show you. Every chord is going to be in root position, meaning there's not going to be any inversions. So the bass note in all of the chords I show you is going to be C. Just to clarify, in case some of you are watching and you think, hey, you could have played an inversion here. That's not what this is. We're just here to keep it simple. We're going to go all the way down our fretboard and play C in as many places as we can. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to start at this root up here on our B string on the first fret and work our way down. Always remember that the top box on both sides of the NANDI-Chorder, those are your open strings. That is not your first fret. So if we refer to the bottom of the NANDI-Chorder, which demonstrates our order of fourths, we know that it goes 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3. So starting here, we only have one spot, so let's plot that as a fourth. So from here, you can say we're only going to get a 2-note chord here because we only have 2 strings to work with. So there's actually 2 directions you can go with this to get it, but to make it a proper major chord, what we should do is drop a half step from that 4 to give us our third. So that would be like this. This is our root is our root is the first fret on the B string, and then we can go up a fourth as a reference point, and then down a half step to the major third. So that would be C and E. 1, 3. An alternative way you could express this is by going from the fourth and going up one whole step to reach the fifth. And that's going to be more like a little miniature, like a half of a power chord, the root and the fifth. That's technically not major or minor, but it's important to understand for power chords. 1, 5. So you guys can see over here the spelling is C and E for the major third 2-note chord, and then C and G for that half of a power chord. So that's kind of all we can get out of that first root there on the B string. So let's move on to the next one. So moving on, I've now plotted from that second root, from the one that's on the 3rd fret of the A string. I've plotted that in fourths, 1, 4, flat 7. We make our half step adjustment from the G to the B string, flat 3, flat 6. So there's really 2 directions in which we can build this chord. So one is back towards the nut of the guitar, towards towards your 1st fret, and then the other is up towards your 12th fret. So first we're going to go backwards. So the first thing you're going to do is lower your 4 to a major third, just like we did up here. So you're going to see that here. There's your root and your major third. And on the back here we'll show you. There's C and there's E, which is the note that we want. 1, 3. So from here we can build from our flat 7, and we can just go in half steps down until we reach our 5th. So we can see from here it goes flat 7, 6, flat 6, then to our 5. So when we do that, we get our 5th up here. That's actually our open G string. So we have our root on the 3rd fret A, the major third on the 2nd fret of the D, and then the open G string is our 5th. And with letter names, there's your C, E, G, which is the 5 notes that we wanted, C, E, and G. 1, 3, 5. So from our flat 3 then, we're just going to go down in half steps to our 2nd, to our flat 2, and then back to our root here on the 1, which is already plotted. So there's that right there. So now we have our root, 3rd fret A string, major third, 2nd fret D string, the open G string, and then 1st fret on the B string. And then you can see on this side, C, E, G, C. 1, 3, 5, 1. Interesting note here, because of our previous chord, that one's already done. So the first one that we showed where we played that major third, that one's already incorporated now into this chord. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. So because of the way that those two were kind of folded together, I'm going to erase all that extra stuff, and we're going to start from scratch now and go in the other direction towards the 12th fret. So we clean this back up. So 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, flat 6. So our 4, we're just going to bring up a whole step. So we have our flat 5 to our 5. We're going to plot that. So there's that right there, and that's going to give us another half of a power chord kind of sound. 1, 5. All right, and now this one's practically already kind of filled in with us because the NANDI-Chorder plots the ones already, but from our flat 7, we're going to go up, as you can see, a whole step to the root. In between, you're going to plot a major 7. And then that gives you a standard 1. That's your standard punk rock kind of power chord rock music. 1, 5, 1. All right, so we're still here. This is our flat 3, so we're going to go a half step up from our flat 3 to get to our major 3rd. So there you go. 1, 5, 1, 3. 1, 5, 1, 3. All right, and then from here on this flat 6, I suppose you could climb 6, flat 7, 7 to the 1, but really what we're going to do is we're just going to go a half step down from flat 6 and go to 5. All right, so there it is. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. 1, 5, 1, 3, 1. All right, so we've plotted this one now. 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, flat 6, flat 2. And likewise on this one, we're going to first bring it in this direction towards our open strings, and then we'll go this way. So since we're kind of getting the hang of this, we're going to do 2 at a time. So from our 4, we're going to go a half step down to our 3rd. And then from the flat 7 here, we're going to go 1.5 steps down to reach our 5th. All right, so here you can see 1, 3, and there's our 5. 1, 3, 5. Then we're going to take it from this flat 3, and we're just going to connect it to our root that's already exists right here. So we're just going to go flat 3, 2, flat 2, 1. 1, 3, 5, 1. All right, now on this one, we are going to move backwards. Now, you're going to see me skip something, because typically you'd think, well, you're just going to go a half step down to 5, which you can do that. But we're going to keep this consistent with the G shape, because these are all the caged shapes. If you haven't seen that, we have a video on that. You can check that out. In fact, I'll put that up here in the video. But we're going to go all the way down to here, which is going to be our 3rd. So it's going to be flat 6, 5, flat 5, 4, major 3rd. So there that is, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. In terms of notes, that's C, E, G, C, E. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. And then finally, our last one's kind of already plotted for us, but we had flat 2, which is going to go a half step down to 1. On this side here, you can see that's already plotted. That's our C again, so D flat to C. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 1. Okay, so now we're going to work in this direction. So we're going to do 2 at a time again here, starting off. So we're going to go from the 4th. We're going to go up a whole step to reach the 5th. So that's the 4th to the flat 5th to the 5. And then from the flat 7 to the 1. Flat 7, major 7, 1. There that is right there. So that's like a standard power chord shape. We've actually already played this one already. C, G, C. We played that previously from here. C, G, C is what we played before. But now that shape has just kind of moved up here. In fact, this is the exact same chord that this one was, except now we're playing it here. So it's actually the exact same set of pitches, just played in a different location on the guitar. 1, 5, 1. All right, so then from this flat 3, we're going to raise this a half step to our major 3. So we go from flat 3 to 3 right here. And there that is right there. So 1, 5, 1, 3. And that would be C, G, C, E. 1, 5, 1, 3. All right, and now from the flat 6, we're going to do what we were really being intuitive about before and just go a half step down to the 5. And likewise, we're just going to do that also right away with this one. We'll go from the flat 2 to the 1. So these two we're just going to do together. And that's right there. So that's C, G, C, E, G, C. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. All right, so we're on the last one here, so we're going to make this one a little bit more challenging. We're going to do more at once here. In fact, we're going to do the entire, all 4 strings together. You'll see, I feel like you guys are getting the hang of this since we've been going through the whole fretboard. So we have 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3. So we're going to start going towards the open string. So we do a 4, we go a half step down from 4 to our major 3rd. We're going to go from flat 7 down to our 5. So flat 7, major 6, flat 6, 5. And then we're going to go from our flat 3 to our 1. Flat 3, major 2, flat 2, 1. So right there, we've just plotted the C from here. So actually, if you want to take note, this is really just the upper portion of this fuller E chord. But you don't have to play these lower two strings. You can actually just start here on the D string and have a root position C. Here it is, the letters C, E, G, C. 1, 3, 5, 1. 1, 3, 5, 1. So we're going to go upwards this time, and likewise we're going to do this one all together because I believe in you guys. So we're going to go from our 4, we're going to go a whole step up, so flat 5 to our 5th. Then from our flat 7, we're going to go a whole step up, flat 7, major 7, 1. And then from our flat 3, we're going to go up a half step to our major 3rd. All right, so here's that right here, 1, 5, 1, 3. And that would be in the D shape if you were going by the cage name. This is a C major chord in a D shape. Here it is in the note names, C, G, C, E. 1, 5, 1, 3. Someone might want to pick a nit and say, well, you could still go from the 1 to the 4th here, but then our only option is to bring it down to this 3rd. So you could play a 2-note major chord right here as well. Thanks for watching Guitar Intervals Unleashed. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm going to have links in the description for you guys to pick up one of these, the NANDI-Chorder. It's going to be super helpful. If you guys want to continue with the NANDI method, I suggest you pick one of these up. Also, check out the NANDIMethod.com and make sure to pick up Guitar Intervals Unleashed on Amazon. Links are in the description.